Come see us on tour. We're going to be in Bakersfield, San Jose, California, Buffalo, New York, Toledo, Montreal, Toronto, Ottawa, Glasgow, Manchester, Belfast, Dublin, Liverpool, Birmingham, and London. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets. So there was a Canadian actress jailed by ICE for 12 days. So we just showed you an American for 10 days. We showed you these two teen girls from Germany who got detained and deported in Hawaii, even though it's obvious they were just traveling. Now let's listen to this story.
Citizens of Canada, I would not come to the U.S. anymore. I would vacation somewhere else, vacation in Canada, go to Europe this summer, go to Mexico. Do not come to the U.S. because shit like this is going to keep happening. A Canadian citizen got shackled and put in an orange jumpsuit and was detained by ICE in the U.S. for 12 days because her visa paperwork was messed up. This is Jasmine Mooney. She is a Canadian actress and entrepreneur. She had a job in Los Angeles. Her work visa got rejected because, I quote, the letterhead was missing the logo of her company that she was working for. So she flew down to Mexico to try to cross from Mexico to the U.S. legally. Her lawyer lives outside of San Diego, hence her going down to Mexico and trying to cross the U.S. legally. So instead of turning her away and sending her back into Mexico, they took her to a room. They put her in a tiny jail cell for a couple of days. Then they shackled her, put her in an orange jumpsuit, and detained her for 12 days because her paperwork was messed up. Is this how we treat people of the world now? Canada is supposed to be our allies. I get it. You don't want people illegally in the U.S.? That's fine. Send her back to Canada, or in this case, Mexico, where she was trying to come in. Legally, by the way. She was not crossing any illegal borders. She was standing in line just like everybody else. They told her she was supposed to go to the U.S. consulate for something like this. So instead of sending her there, they threw her in jail for 12 days. Citizens of Canada, Europe, Mexico, anywhere else in the world, do not travel to the U.S. right now. It is not safe for you to be here. It is disgraceful how this woman was treated. Our neighbors to the north, she did nothing wrong but have paperwork that was not properly complete. Just send her back to Canada. Just fly her, say, go buy a plane ticket. You can't come in. She would have happily flown back to Canada instead of going through this for 12 days. This is despicable. This is deplorable.
Well, that is a good question. Why don't you just say no and refuse her entry? Why not do that?
Why? We're looking for stories like these to sabotage everything that Trump is doing because, you know, they didn't clear everybody out that works there. And what? I'm just doing the letter of the law. Like, there's no way anybody voted for that. And I really don't think Trump said do that. I really don't. I think it's people in there that are mad. You're going to see little crap like that. Because what idiot would have been like, no, you have to go to prison. Unless somebody was like, keep an eye out for something like this.
So Kurt's continuing on with his theory from our last story that these are people in the Border Patrol who are not fans of Donald Trump, didn't vote for him, and are doing these things to undermine him and his administration's immigration policy by trying to make them look bad.
You know, like when people at work, they have a term from like Zoomers do it at their office job where they like quit at their job or they like overly... you know, they don't have common sense. They just robot things to kind of protest. I can't remember there's a name for it. It was like an online buzz thing, but that's how it comes off to me because that doesn't really make any sense that someone would be doing that unless they were like, what? I have to apply to everyone.
Yeah, it doesn't. It really doesn't make sense. Why wouldn't you just turn her away? But then but doesn't that person have to have a supervisor? And doesn't somebody have to okay?
That probably comes down from the top. What district is it? Where did she come in through? And who's running it? I want to see how many of these kind of stories come out. Because at first, the ones with, you know, where they're arguing about the El Salvador guy, if he was MS-13 or not, I assume that was to distract from the people that they took out for Israel that were here legally.
Yeah.
And then all the news, well, your Tim Pool says you're all talking about this one guy. We're like, I don't care about the gang member if he has a criminal record here. Go ahead and kick him out. What about those other people or these citizens? So they're like, you would think that they would be, come on, you can't screw this up and not, I don't know. It just doesn't make sense unless there's some secret thing in these stories that we don't know where somehow they knew this woman had said something bad about Israel before. Maybe that's what it is.
I wonder.
Maybe she wrote an op-ed.
I wonder.
Misha wanted to know, why would she go through Mexico to go to Canada? What was that?
No,
I missed that part.
She went from Canada to
Mexico to get in the U.S. Why was she doing that?
She went from Canada to Mexico to get into the U.S. from Mexico. Why would she do that?
Why was she doing that in the first place? So
that's a good question. Yeah, that's a little...
See, we're smart.
Dude, that is weird as hell. I thought they made it like she was seeing her lawyer in Mexico or something.
Yes, her lawyer's in San Diego, which is why she wanted to... So it sounds like she knew she didn't have the right paperwork or something. There's something...
The right letterhead? Come on.
Yeah. That's a little... You're right. Why did she... What? So that's a... So she went to Mexico so she could come into the United States. I mean, still, they should have just turned her away. Still, they should have just said, go back to where you can't... Go back to Mexico. You can't come here.
I want to hear Josh Mankiewicz cover this story.
Now, most people... No, most Border Patrol agents, when they see someone with the wrong paperwork, would have just turned them around and said, go back. But you didn't do that, did you?
I love Josh.
It's Josh Mankiewicz from Dateline. Now, most people, when they find a dead body in their backyard, call 911. But you didn't do that, did you?
No, sir, I did not.
Come see us on tour. We're going to be in Bakersfield, San Jose, California, Buffalo, New York, Toledo, Montreal, Toronto, Ottawa, Glasgow, Manchester, Belfast, Dublin, Liverpool, Birmingham, and London. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets.